Slate Up, episode 001, take one. All right, quiet on the set. Roll sound, roll cameras, and action. ChatGPT, Bard, Hugging Chat, Poe, UChat, aka u.com, even Bing AI Chat. All of this is coming so fast and it's overwhelming. What's good, what's not, what are the challenges, and why should I even care? Well, in this episode of Loose Tech Talk, I'm going to break down a little bit about what they are, how they work, and why it's changing the world so swiftly. So let's get into it. So ChatGPT by OpenAI officially started December of 2015, a little over 7.5 years ago. Now, AI has been around for over 50 years. It's not exactly new, but what's different about this here is the large language model design and the way this AI is being developed now is different. These breakthroughs have happened about the last 12 years that's changed the game. But first, let's step back a little bit and understand who's involved, where this come from, and why did it kick off so powerfully recently the way it has, right? Kind of starts off with this nonprofit company called OpenAI, led by a guy named Sam Altman and his researchers that started this nonprofit with the help of Elon Musk. He donated like 100 million to the program, and Microsoft came in with another billion in the help to get this thing going. Now, after some time, they made some real breakthroughs, and in this past year in November, things took off big time. So this year, Microsoft put in another 10 billion into it to aggressively put themselves in a position where they could lock themselves with this AI explosion. Now, why would Microsoft even do this? Microsoft to this day still provides a lot of software and hardware solutions. Video games, companies, corporations, everything, right? They're everywhere. You have to remember things like Bing.com. Remember Bing.com? Nobody uses that. Well, they didn't. Now they do. Everybody forgot about it, but Bing.com is infusing AI in their search engines, which changes the game. Google was the dominating and still is to this day, but Bing is hardcore out with some very good solutions. But Google's not out of the question yet. Right now, Microsoft is leading the way with these innovations, infusing AI with Bing.com. They're using ChatGPT 4 from what I understand, today as we know it. It's really cool, worth trying. But back to what Microsoft is investing so much money into this. Let's uncover a little bit about the various companies they have and are part of, okay? They got Microsoft Teams, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, OneNote, OneDrive, Microsoft Cloud, Microsoft Security, Dynamics 365. That's a big deal for them. So it goes on and on, really, right? Power Platform, industry, small business. They even own LinkedIn. Nuance Communications, AI software company. Skype, ZeniMax Media, GitHub, Nokia devices. I mean, let's get real. They acquired so many companies that matter. They got Activision for $69 billion. They have a ton of game studios in their catalog. Activision Blizzard is big time. How about we talk about their more popular games? Call of Duty still dominates. One of the most popular games in the entire world. However you want to look at it. Everybody plays that. COD, right? World of Warcraft, Overwatch, Tony Hawk Skater, Diablo. They started Halo, Xbox. That was my favorite game of all time, ever. Shout out to my Halo guys. And now Microsoft has AI for all of their various different outlets to infuse into their programs, companies, and integrate it with their software. Well, let's figure out what is it about this particular AI that matters so much? Because AI comes in a bunch of forms, right? But this particular one is called an LLM, a large language model. You could think of it kind of like this. It's almost like a really super smart program. And what it can do is it's been trained to understand language and comprehend the ability to speak like a human. it responds human-like. Like we practiced language in school, English for our instance, an LLM is taught to recognize words and phrases in different ways. It's like having a really smart robot friend who can understand what you're saying and respond back to you and talk to you like you talk. It's kind of weird. It's kind of crazy. It's incredibly amazing. Its special ability is to predict the next word in language, and predicting a word can help you figure out a sentence or predict a sentence. And understanding and predicting a sentence can get you into a paragraph. If you got a paragraph down, you've got a conversation. That conversation is instantly mind-blowing. It understands, it responds. It gives you the ability to feel like you're talking with someone, and it's rapidly improving, but it's not always perfect at all. It's messing up many ways. It makes mistakes. Some people say it's hallucinating. It will mislead you. It will lie. It'll flat out get stuff wrong. It's not perfect. Don't count it to be perfect, but it's really good. It's magical in some instances. As long as you understand how to talk and communicate and prompt it, it can be really amazing when you start to understand it. Now, why does this matter more? Is where this gets crazy on the level of adoption. It's like wildfire. The AI chatbot has become so popular in a matter of weeks. It's faster adoption than social media platforms like TikTok or Instagram. It went like wildfire. In only about 2 months, it got about 100 million users just last year, 2022. So for 100 million monthly active users back then, now they're seeing over 1 billion users per month. That's insane. These are record-breaking numbers worldwide, however you want to look at it. Now, OpenAI, which has been infused into all these Microsoft platforms and Bing, is not the only player on the block. Google's here with Bard. It's been met with some controversy. It's made some stumbles. It's been kind of goofy. It hasn't been the most popular move by Google in recent times. It's kind of experimental, right? And it's meant to function similar to ChatGPT. It does some impressive stuff, but in my initial tests, my non-scientific tests with my friends, us playing around with it, it's just not there. It doesn't seem to have the more advanced capabilities of ChatGPT 4. And in the end, after playing with it, trying it, and experimenting with it, it's not impressive enough for me to invest my time with it, and I'd rather stick with ChatGPT 4 for now. Hold on. All right. So Google just made a bunch of announcements, and some of their announcements were pertaining to Bard AI. A lot of the things they talked about were quite amazing. So at the time of this recording, they were not available, but they just dropped all these gems, and it looks like they're going to release an incredible amount of capabilities either very soon, right away, and throughout the year. So no doubt about it, here is the AI race. Moving on. This is growing rapidly, and in fields that it's going to change the world in many ways is kind of crazy. So in simple terms, it refers to machines that can learn and reason and perform tasks, typically done by humans. So let me kind of cover some of the sectors that might be impacted by these AI capabilities. We can start with healthcare, right? Healthcare is an interesting thing because it affects all of us, and we all benefit from better healthcare. And today in this industry, it's making it more efficient at personalized algorithms, analyzing medical images like x-rays or MRIs to help detect diseases, conditions, and problems early. It's that early detection that doctors can take advantage of to help save lives more efficiently. And that's pretty damn cool. It can help predict what chemical compounds are going to have better effects in drugs and treating people, certain diseases, speeds up the process and reduces cost, we hope. The other example that I'm thinking right now is transportation. Mind-blowing, right? Self-driving vehicles, they already exist today, you know? Many people have seen what Tesla does and in the transportation where things may go. But this only helps. It helps because it's the data from sensors and cameras and mapping, navigating cities, streets, and the world that helps give better results for the potential to reduce human error in traffic transportation. Access to safer roads, Moreover, traffic management systems optimizing the flow in cities back and forth, reducing congestion, giving better efficiency, overall traffic capabilities. It's going to affect in ways that we can have better lives. That's the good part. We can get into agriculture by helping farmers optimize their resources to increase crop field capabilities, for instance, like monitoring fields that need to capture images of data so they can identify where it needs attention, maybe irrigation issues or pest infestations. AI can help these farmers in so many different ways that the data can help them plant better or water or harvest, resulting in more efficient and sustainable farming capabilities. Now, let's talk about something I'm very passionate about. I care a lot about this, and that's the ability for it to affect education. That it can enhance the education sector is a big deal. It can personalize the learning experience, adopting platforms that can analyze every individual student's strengths and weakness, tailoring a lesson and an assignment to that individual student. You know, what we're talking about here is having a more customized approach to teach every student. This is going to help their pace of learning. It helps teachers identify where to support more and how, improving overall learning outcomes. This is a big deal. It can also get into manufacturing, playing a big role in industry automation, various purposes like AI robotics that can perform repetitive tasks more efficiently and accurately than humans can. This sucks because it actually replaces human jobs, but the reduced costs are hopefully going to transfer to the buyer. It's going to identify bottlenecks. It's going to be able to make manufacture processing more efficient and hopefully reduce costs. All right, now let's get into financial sector. This is crazy. This is going to streamline processes and streamline financial algorithms that give them so much data. They're going to make better educated moves on purchases and sales. The finance sector's out of control. More effectively, it can take over tasks. It can take over fraud detection. It can help fight fraud detection. It's going to see algorithms that help protect against that. I'll leave with the last two things that are near and dear to my heart, because these things matter to me and this is my world. AI-powered music and movies, the entertainment world. It's going to change everything. Everything. We're already seeing the impact of really cool songs, really interesting music that's coming out. I could go down a list. Let me provide a couple of options for you to check out. Now, in a nutshell, these algorithms and these capabilities to understand the genres help give more formulated music results. Okay, let me give you an example. As an editor, we need background music. Okay, I'm an editor, right? If I need background music for something that I'm working on, I used to have to depend on, back in the day, on Jim down the hall who makes all of our music, and he's a music composer or designer. Gets paid very well. He deserves that, and it's hard to find those guys full time. It's an expensive process. That's something that's amazing. But that changed years ago because now there's libraries available online of companies that I used to meet at NAB, National Broadcast Association, where I'd run into companies like Universal Music, and they'd have professional musicians, maybe like Jim, who made jingles and music and styles and background and clips. All these audio assistive sound and effects covered a vast wide range of music that I was able to choose from. All right, so if I need a background sound for something scary, I can go through the catalog and I can find scary music, orchestra, and I need it to be, let's say 30 seconds because it's a 30-second clip. Well, they have 6-second, 10-second, 30-second, even 2-minute, and the list goes on of the length and duration, and we loop it. But things are changing. They're changing fast because the AI is going to give us the ability to say, I need a symphony and scary music, and it's going to start spitting out music of its own. Now, maybe it's not at the level that we're accustomed to, but it's pretty impressive in some cases, and it's only getting better. You're going to have personalized music experiences, custom made for you. Spotify knows your algorithm. It's been giving you playlists for as long as you've had it.
It knows a lot about what you like and what you don't like. For me, maybe it's 80s and 90s and hip hop and rap and R&B, right? So it already knows what I like. It's going to continue to provide ideas, solutions, and suggestions, but that changes because all that data can be replicated by AI to create music that I may like. It's going to know the common denominators of the voices I'm accustomed to, the producers and the production style that I like or that I listen to. It's going to make its own generated music that I love. The more I listen to what it's generating, the more it's going to produce that. And the less I listen to it, it's going to know I didn't like that. The playlist and music recommendations that we've been giving, the auto processing and the tools, the tasks, it's going to know it all. It's going to know how to mix. It's going to know how to compose. It democratizes everything. For some kid in a challenged state, city, or country with very little access to music learning is going to simply be able to say, I want to hear a song that is produced by Dr. Dre with the guitarist of Slash and the rhythm of DJ Quick, vocalized by Alicia Keys, sung with Michael Jackson, and I want it to be written by the Beatles. And as goofy as that was right there, it'll probably do an amazing job at entertaining that song. Now, let's get into movies a little bit. The same stands for feature films and movies and television shows and programming. It has the ability to analyze plot structures, character arc, dialogue existing between movies, that it generates new scripts from it. It'll make a full-length screenplay. It has a data of scripts. It has the understanding of a style between Steven Spielberg and Quentin Tarantino and Samuel Jackson's speaking style. It knows all of these different variations, and it can compose realistic sounding scripts. They may not be highly advanced today, but you got to understand those that are using it in a powerful way are not depending on it 100% at all. That's not where the value is right now. The simple ability for you to use this to help you improve what you're working on is mind-blowing. The ability to bounce it off somebody, for you to say, go over this script, go over this story, go over this writing of mine, and help me realize if it makes sense, or help me edit this so it doesn't sound like it's doubling up, or help me just simply spell check it. Now, these things are capable with Grammarly and other apps, but what's crazy is you actually tell it, ChatGPT, click, 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 go over my writing and help me do X, Y, and Z, and it spits it back. It's not perfect. That's not what we're worried about. The mere fact that you can improve 10, 20, 30, 40% of what you've written and re-improve it again and again and yet again starts to formulate this very powerful piece that before you had access to this, it was a struggle. It cost time, money, effort, or energy to find that person who was qualified, willing to help you, or they're just going to do it for money, which made it difficult to get to the end product you were looking for. That's all out the door because this helps you in ways that I've never seen anything before in my life. We can see where things are going. It's really impressive and entertaining. It's mind-blowing. We're around the corner from deepfakes fooling everybody. This can get dangerous. That's a whole nother conversation. But for now, let's at least try to look forward to some of the positive things, right? So the fact that it can make cool stuff for our specific needs or tailor-made to us is really something to enjoy. I'll give you one example. I love The Mandalorian, the TV show by Disney. And I think in the future, I'm going to be able to say something as silly as, give me the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in a story as if it was done by the team who created The Mandalorian. Make it 20 minutes long, but put this in the Roman era and let them fight against Caesar and all of his warriors. Now, out of nowhere, I want the Transformers to show up and save the day. Now, I'm going off in tangents and I'm getting goofy and stuff with it, but it gives you an idea of where things might be going. Hopefully, this gives you some insight to what's happening, and I hope you stay tuned for more. My name is Big Lou, Big Lou's Tech Talk, and check out more later on what I talk about when it comes to technology and AI, this new revolution. Thanks.
Cut. Check the gate. Moving on.